Hi, YouTube. Welcome on in. We're jumping into episode number 14. We do this in big binges. We sit down, we watch 2, 3, 4 episodes a fucking day, if possible. And we're going through it. Guys, by the time this goes up, please make sure to try and join the Discord and vote. There's probably gonna be a new poll live. All you need is a Discord username and for you to be a part of our Discord to be able to vote. So far, what it has been announced is Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Dungeon Meshi, Overlord, and jellyfish can't swim at night, right? So hopefully, as we're going through this, just make sure that you guys are ready. We're slowly announcing, different anime that are probably going to be up for vote for you guys. So there it goes. Super duper excited, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be big fucking hype, big everything. With that being said, let's jump straight into it. Let's see what this episode holds. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so fucking hyped, bro. Seeing, like, if this is the Maomao podium episode, let's go. Fucking love it. Oh, shit. An art gallery, right? Hold on, I'll answer your question in just a moment. Oh. The cinema with this. I know the color. Judging from the reaction and judging from the way that this is going, it's like, I guess my question is, do you guys think that she genuinely wants to be here, or that this is something that she desired, that she wanted to be? Seeing the way that she's walking around and literally slaying, I guess, the way that cyberspace can put it, but the music, the whole background, her just throwing the crown like that, it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look that way at all. But would anyone would? I mean, for example, would you, even in a reverse situation where it was like Empress, Dami, Mommy, whatever, right? And you've been selected as a concubine, would you, at this point in time, if they were to just yank you from wherever you are into being in a bird in a bird cage, essentially, a prisoner in there, would you be content? To answer Green Axe's questions, by the way, Ed, do you have an interesting scientific book in mind about the therapy methods and use? I'm currently educating myself based on the Encyclopedia Personality and the differentials. Yes, there's a couple. There's a lot of wonderful CBT and DBT books out there for cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectic behavioral therapy. Even EMDR, which is like emotion, movement resensitization. Wonderful aspects and things like that. What I would start off with, and I'm just gonna be straight up with, is basic empathy 101. And this, I tell this to any of my therapists. If you can't empathize with the person, how can you help them grow? You can be the most logical brain out there, right? You can be the most logical brain out there. But if you can't empathize with another person, you will never be a good therapist. Straight up. If you can't find the way to empathize and form a connection with your client, the clients are going to feel that, and it's going to be rough. So empathy 101, learning about the inferences of empathy. Then I'd go into a little bit of psychodynamics, narrative, and attachment. And then I'd start introducing CBT, DBT, EMDR, even little bits of hypnotherapy for them to start learning. Past that, we start going into a little bit of the transpersonal realm. So because there's some clients that are more spiritually based, or even want a little bit extra. So it's neurolinguistic programming with a little bit of the neural, like transpersonal aspects of psychology, a little bit of spiritual psychology, so people can understand that everyone culturally is based differently and have different spiritual beliefs, and we have to have that empathy and that tolerance to be able to go ahead and use that in a way that helps individuals grow. So there's a lot of different books out there. It wouldn't just be one thing that encapsulate everything beautifully, but I would start off with, I guess, one really, really good book to start understanding the basis of humans, or the basis of understanding ourselves. Atomic Habits: How to Create and maintain really, really good habits, right? Then past that, I would go into Angels and Ghosts in the Nursery, which was taught to me in my attachment classes in psychology, about being able to go ahead and understand the impacts that like not having our caregivers at a young age has on us, and how that can influence you as an individual and as a caregiver. Yeah, NLP, it gets looked down upon in the psychology community, especially like individuals with their that just have their master's degree without fully understanding the context of like reframing and anchoring comes from NLP principles. There's a lot of wonderful things out there. It's just taking it apart like step by step by step. Past that, I'd go into more like child developmental theories, and then we can go from there. Just message me on the Discord. I'll shoot you any books that I have on it. It's just really, really good shit, I don't know if you guys have read that, but if you guys have, let me know what you guys have thought about any of those books. And then past that, there's Emotions Unveiled. There's 101 things. Let's continue on with the show, because from here, I'm like, it's very clear that this is not a happy go-to lucky show, No worry, Green Axe. No worries. It's a good question. Thank you for asking. No.
本気ですか？もちろん。せっかくマオマオが戻ってきてくれたんだもの。
Hey yo. Hey yo.
こんなものか。高級と違って海底はろくに薬草が生えてない。少しずつ増やさないと。
シャオマオ、掃除を頼んだのは
Your abuela catches you playing video games instead of doing the task that she asked you to do. I thought I asked you to clean the office. Oh shit, brother. That's so good. OP grandma sneaks up on
執
you.
務室じゃなかったかしら。
すぐ行きます。
土いじりはほどほどにね。
手強い。
どういうことだ。そう。
失礼します。
ザクロ級に新しい宿費が入ったことは知っているか？
はあ、いなくなったアードー妃の後釜か。
Right.
そこで高級としては妃教育をしたいそうなんだが、お前に講師をしろとのことだ。
Hey.
ご冗談を。
何が冗談だ。推薦人の名前も書いてあるだろ。
推薦人
Mama, I'm about to come on in here and be like, yeah, it's time.
もう一通は。
Oh, that's so good.
リファ様まで。
Yeah, that sort of education.
あれか。
というわけで頼んだぞ。
Good shit. Good
二
shit.
人の妃に頼まれては。
But that's the main thing, though. It's like education is power in some aspects, right? A very culture based. Doesn't that mean you need a special education to have a therapy session with someone from IE China? Not necessarily, Mickey. And here's the difference, right? There's a base understanding of psychology, and then there's people that intricate it way past the levels of being, right? So, for example, there's narrative, attachment, whatnot, the styles of psychology, which go over your own definitions, how you define yourself, and what roles and expectations you give yourself. And we use that as a preference for allowing you to explore whatever the fuck you want to explore, right? Versus other elements, because there's a lot of, I hate to put it this way, there's a lot of therapists that don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of therapists that have their master's degrees or even doctoral degrees and they don't know what they're doing. Like they will legitimately, instead of being a therapist or being a psychologist, they're being like a life coach, right? And being a life coach in of itself is not a bad thing. Like 100%. Like if I wanted to start up a life coach business, I probably would on the side, right? Of like, hey, let's work as a team together. Like this is what I think. What do you think about this, right? It's like that sort of like interaction. But a therapist and a psychologist is asking you to define those terms for yourself and how you can make yourself better, right? It's making you make up those definitions to start healing yourself, as opposed to a life coach, which works like we're hand in hand with you to try and make things better in that regard. So it's a little bit of a different approach. However, one thing that comes in being is oftentimes a lot of beginner therapists and a lot of like, you know, just individuals out there will try and define things for you instead of you defining it for yourself. And that's where the main element and that the main function brings in. So just knowing basic levels of empathy, basic levels of understanding, basic levels of being there with another individual and letting them share their story and being vulnerable and so on and so forth carries a lot more weight than anything else, right? Of course, knowing about the culture can also help, right? But just having a base understanding of how to build rapport, how to be empathetic and whatnot, could be great.
さすがに無視できない。ご丁寧に報酬の額まで書かれていたし。にしてもババア、かなりふっかけてるな。今のうち。
この2が講義で使う教材か？
こっちが請求書です。
こんなものか。
なんだかここだけ墨の色が
Oh no! No, Grandma! Grandma! Grandma, don't fucking stitch! I love it, dude. Yeah. There are elements where in different cultures where and also grieving, right? Which is why cultural awareness is important. And I guess I'll highlight that as well, Kaisa. Like grieving, for example, in Mexican culture can be very loud, very open, very whatnot, as opposed to other cultures where it might be a little bit more restrained, or Eastern cultures where grieving might be a little bit more restrained, you know? Like, it just depends, and being aware of situations like that. Because oftentimes, I remember that a lot of, like, Hispanics were being labeled with, like, histrionic, like, certain disorders due to the way that they grieved. And it's like, no, that's just part of the culture. So being culturally aware is great and all, but to do basic level therapy, especially when it comes to like whatnot, just being able to go and empathize and have that empathizing, like understanding, huge.
違うわね。
やっぱり手強い。バーヤがいる限り坊ちゃんをカモにするのは難しそうだ。
Depression.
中身はなんだ？
Oh no.
大事な教材を見せるわけにはいかない。
Precious teaching material.
わかった。見ない。
Adorable.
運ぶなら手伝いましょうか。
結構です。やるからには徹底的にやる。
So I guess for you guys, right, in a scenario like this, how would you teach this course, right? How would you go about it? I have my own way that I would go into the situation, into this topic and whatnot, especially because I had to take some different classes all the way. I had to take a sexology course where we literally worked out of a fucking, you know, sex shop, and we learned everything and anything that had to do with elements like this, right? So you have to go by example. So you have to have big elements of being able to go ahead and understand different components of what makes things pleasurable, non-pleasurable, communication, and so on and so forth. So the main regard comes with this, right? For Maomao, going this, hiking up the price, doing all of this is huge. First ask what they know, then correct their misconceptions. Exactly.
久しぶりだなこの感じ。妙に女臭くて落ち着く。
天使様よ、今日も麗しい
ずいぶん集まってますね。
授業の噂を聞いて集まったんだろう。言っておくが、授業を受けるのは上級費のみだ。
Today,
用のないものは下がるように。
Today, the aura, the riz. My man has that fucking riz on stun locked. What the fuck?
この宦官、あやかしか何かか。
Riz so hard the video buffers.
いけません。
なぜだ？
授業を受けるのは上級妃のみとおっしゃったのは人士様です。見た目の割に合心してここから先は女の園における他言無用の秘術ですので。
A secret technique for women.
玉葉様、
Oh.
相変わらずお綺麗だ。
Oh,
本能様も
bro.
特に変わりないようだ。
Honestly, like going back into this and seeing all the ladies and like where you come from, I'm sure that that must be like a moment of like, okay, I'm in my element. Like this is comfy. I know. Oh shit, Leisha's there. Oh fuck. Oh no. Hey, well, I mean, you should be having sex ed talks at a young age. Being straight up, you should be having like at least talking about the birds and the bees. Sexual education is super duper important in any regard, right? And I would strongly promote it. I'm a big advocate for talking about like safe sex and talking about the like what sexual education encompasses altogether. That's the main record. I have a feeling that Maomao's course is going to be a little too advanced. Probably.
リーシュ様は萎縮しているのか。まあ他の上級妃が3人もいれば無理もないか。あの毒味役の次女がそばにいれば以前よりはマシだろう。リファ様もほとんど前の豊かな体型に戻って体調も良さそうだ。あの次女はおしろいの時もそんなに警戒しなくても。そしてアードー妃の後釜、新しい宿妃ローラン妃か。南国調の派手な服は趣味か。顔立ちは北寄りに見えるが元がよくわからないな。年頃からして帝のお手つきにはなりそうだ。
The emperor will
高
most
級
likely
のバランス
sometime
が
with
崩
her.
れることはなさそうだが。
Fuck.
ま、どうでもいいか。
Let's see what
こ
you
の
have to
度
teach.
講師を承りましたマオマオと申します。これから皆様にお教えするのは女の園における秘術ゆえ、他言無用にお願いします。それでは教材をお配りします。
Hold on, chat. I'm about to pull out my own book here. Hold on. Maomao. About to pull out the fucking bread hat here. I will. Hold on. Because I feel like even what was talked about in the 15 or 1600s, you know, or whatever time-based period this was like based on, I don't fucking know. It was probably not as advanced as some of the stuff we have today. So I will show you modern day teachings in just a little bit. I love her freaking the fuck out, just like, oh. Gushing, brother. Gushing. And she just has no interest at all. Queen Maomao here, dude. Spreading the truth of sexual education. Guys, let's give some fucking Doritos to Maomao here. Literally spreading some good fucking sexual education out there in the world. She grew up at the Verdigras. She got her degree from the Verdigras University here. At least you're having a rough one over here. Yeah. And she gets up and passes out again. Wow. They've now charged me to go and teach this class. You know, Wizard Ed, we need you to go ahead and go and teach this class, right? We need you to at least have an aspect of self to be able to go ahead and understand sort of what's coming from there. Okay, fine, then let's go straight into it. Here are the stages of sexual development based on like Bob Schutz et al. From the Healing Center in Tallahassee. This is one of the big aspects of that. There's 101 more like other theorems out there. And these are the age learning challenges that are usually associated with that, right? You know, which is identification, peer group, sexual integration, usually happening on from 13 to 22, right? Learning how to develop, like it says opposite sex, but it's just sex relationships, sexual arousing and attraction, developing integrated social and personal identity with their sexuality, learning self-mastery and becoming sexually, sexual fidelity, fruitfulness, living out your sexual and intimate relationships, experiencing the others freely, fully, faithfully, hopefully, so on and so forth, right? There's this whole aspect of sexual development. In comes in the next one, though. This is where I would go into. This is the periodic table of kink, right? And this is one of the main aspects that, like, we would probably spend a little bit of while to go ahead and talk about, like, this is the thing? Holy shit! This is the periodic table of kink, right? And this goes over the different layers that we can go ahead and do to go ahead and promote sexual advocacy and sexual growth. Cabby, no, you're So, I want that table. Do you have it? I do. Is this how Maomao taught them? And as you guys can tell, it really goes in depth, right? So, for example, you have some primal elements of, like, primal elements are usually things that, like, are very much considered A-okay, right? Or out there. We even have them described by vanilla acts, sex toys, lingerie, masturbation, oral, strip, tantric, tickling, fluffy handcuffs, so on and so forth, to harder and different elements, right? So bondage, something busting, torture, CBT, BS, so on and so forth. It's all layered in here as to what it means to have different forms of pleasure attached in it, right? You guys gotta admit, this is the really nice periodic tables. Some are dangerous, absolutely. Some are absolutely dangerous, right? However, this is why you need to communicate with your partner. And so what I would do, it'd be something along the lines of, hey, which one would you guys like to talk about? Let's go in depth and talk about each one and what it means to have this power and control element with this, right? What it means to go ahead and have it's a mascot. It's like mascot play, essentially. Well, what it means to go ahead and have these certain instances or these certain things, right? So, for example, if you're like, hey, you know what? I feel like I'm really into tentacle stuff. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Where did this come from? What pleasures can this bring? The good, the bad, so on and so forth. Hey, I want to go ahead and talk about, like, paddling. Sure, let's talk about different forms of impact play. And impact play falls into the certain categories because of the way that it can bring pleasure and pain. Pleasure and pain, and I talked about this in Gushing Over Magical Girls, pleasure and pain write a thin line in the brain where sometimes, it doesn't, your brain will send out similar endorphins or similar hormones for both responses, right? Somewhere on the Discord to download. No, I can put it up today. As you guys can tell, this comes out from uberkinky.co.uk. I found it. I thought it was amazing. It doesn't cover everything out there, but it's just really good for you to go ahead and talk about, like, sexual education, right? And having that ability to go ahead and go into this and talk about the different elements of stuff that is out there. Whether it's, like, restraint, domination, torture, impact, miscellaneous, role play, materials, butt stuffs, you name it. It's out there, and it's important to have these conversations with people as you grow. Because I guess I'll put this out there, right? How many of you guys, this is worth the price of admission, how many of you guys have seen all of these things at some point or another, have heard of it or whatnot? Some color patterns are not colorblind. Oh, no, they're not. They're not. Oh, God, Mecha Pilot. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Machines. It's humorous and a disarming way to approach the topic. It is. It really is. Can you explain trees? Where's that one at, my friend? Where's that one at? Because I'm trying to go ahead and I won't have this conversation with my parents. No, sir. No, it's a lot of people are afraid to approach the subject, and not even with parents, but say even other professionals. I hate to phrase it this way, but there are a lot of even, like, professionals, like, in the field that are afraid of touching in some of these elements. This is why, like, psychologists that specialize in sexology, my hat's off to them, right? Or psychologists that have taken classes in sexology, that's what it should be, right? Because all of a sudden you have individuals that you can go to and you can have these conversations about, right? You could have conversations about, like, look, there's YIF, there's furries, right? There's puppy play, pony play, kitten play, pig play, rimming, pegging, so on and so forth. There's 101 different elements out here from it. And that is the main regard. It's like, by the way, paraphilias don't necessarily mean good ones. They actually mean, like, That it's stuff that isn't normally considered, and therefore it's usually being continued into that one. So that is that is the main element that we're talking about. Whenever we're looking at situations like this, please be aware that there's stuff out there that can definitely help in exploring yourself and growing from it. So there you guys go. There you guys go. That is one way that I would approach it. I've never heard this talk neither in school. Electrosex. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's different elements of pleasure and stuff out there. Here, I'll throw it in the Discord real quick. There you guys go. It's in the Discord for those of you guys that want it. Super duper important to talk about. It's important to talk about all these different elements, and then we also have to talk about this. What is sex, right? And what is the power in this? Is it for you? Is it for them? Are you doing it? Are they doing it? Where is the line of consent? And this is probably one of the most important conversations to have in general. What is consent during sex? You you should always be comfortable being able to go ahead and be like, you know what? I don't consent to this anymore. I'm not comfortable with this. You don't even got to say this, just being very open to having that conversation and saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to go ahead and do this anymore. I'm not comfortable. Hey, can we do something else? Whatever, right? And it change. At any point in time where that's taking advantage of or whatnot, the power dynamics have shifted, and that is no longer consent, right? How to do their job best for the... Yes, it does, sir. Yes, it does. When it comes to elements of kinks, you have to know what you like so that way you can explore what you like with the people that you love or with the person that you're into. You have to know about consent as well and stuff like this, so that way it's not just being able to go and have this conversation with the emperor, but also being able to go ahead and shift with the emperor should the situation go into an element where you're not necessarily the most comfortable with, right? So it's allowing people to have power and gaining that power through sexual intimacy as well. That is a huge element through it. I can tell you how much I'm happy that I found. Oh, well, I'm glad, Bulbiz. I'm glad. And I hope that this helps explore some elements for you guys. I hope that this helps God establish boundaries in safe world. Absolutely. I hope that this brings up that element for you guys, because a lot of people, unfortunately, never have the opportunity to have this conversation with people. And then comes in the next one, which is we could probably go into, which is this. Instances of just, abuse, SA. I know it says CSA, but this presents as SA in general, is actually over the legal age. Right. Which comes into, for example, sexualized behavior, avoidance, nightmares, clingy behaviors, bedwetting, refusal and education in general, decreased performance. It says scholastic, but in recent studies, it's been work and organizational as well. And then medical unexplained body aches and pains. And it usually comes from these elements. So having the psychoeducational material to talk about these things, huge, fucking huge, ladies and gentlemen. Huge. All right, are you guys ready? Sorry, I don't mean to go into this whole topic, but at least if we have the ability to talk about these things, yes and no, because sometimes it develops from your environment and from self, and yes, from caregivers. Don't get me wrong, caregivers can play a huge role in it, but at the same time, environmentally, everyday struggles, so on and so forth, can develop into different elements of self. Also, your own restraints.
一体何が起きているんでしょうか。
わからんな。
Yep.
ご苦労。長かったな。
こいつ聞き耳立ててたな。どうしました？
これは一体どういう状況だ？
Goodbye, tired routines.
これは一体どういう状況だ？
Oh no. Guys, and girls, and anyone out there, if you're really tired, right, there's 101 other ways that you can explore, not having to resort to that as the quick aspect of things. Wow. It's awesome to see them glow like this. It's great to see them have that empowerment to say, hey, I don't have to say, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I'm whatever. Dude, that's some good shit. That is some good shit.
離脱。ここをこうして無理、絶対無理。
言われた通りに抗議をしただけです。それでも推薦人の2人には喜んでもらえたみたいだ。最後まで何を考えているのかよくわからない妃だったな。好きに使ってくれ。
なあ、どんな授業をやったんだ？
後日帝に感想を伺ってください。
おい。
You can ask the emperor later if he liked it. What a boss ass move. Holy fuck, dude. What a boss ass move for her to just be like, you can ask the emperor later if you liked it. Oh, holy shit, dude. Holy fuck. Maomao the fuck with the badass fucking drop.
Sure.
宝条の金一封楽しみだ。
What the fuck?
やめておくか。
I love it. We'll stay out of it.
ラカン様、ラカン様。ラカン様、こんなところに。何か気になることでも？
いや、何もないよ。
Is he about to become like the L in this fucking world and just become a master detective, master at being able to go out and like take things down? He's already sussy of it. That's so fucking good, man. Fucking love the fact that he's just bro sus as hell. But the opening makes him out to be something completely different. That's what I'm like.
昨日の音何だったんだろう。宦官なのに高級だけじゃなく外邸の仕事もあるのか。くだらない法案だろうと無視するわけにいかないみたいだし。いい紙だから売れば小遣いになるんだけど、燃やすなんてもったいない。ゴミ焼き場、軍部のあたりか。
シャオマオ、外は寒いので。
ありがとうございます。さすが豆だ。宦官にしておくにはもったいない。
これはジン様からのものですので、私はただ渡しただけに過ぎませんので。
そうですか。下女には大礼1枚渡すのにも許可が必要なんて大変だな。ありがとうございます、ジン氏様。
気にするな。
Brother, I like the quick change. So, don't even worry about it. I'm totally your tier 3 sub, you know. Bro wingmans, holy fuck, dude. That is so good. That is so fucking good, and an easy way of just like, you know, showcasing like, hey, Jinchi definitely is growing those feels. Maomao can be a bit dense sometimes.
外邸は高級の何倍もの広さがあるのに薬草はあまり見当たらない。やっぱりめぼしい薬草はどこにでもあるタンポポかヨモギくらいか。冬場で見つけにくいとはいえ、この辺りにも種を植えておこうかな。あ、 まんじゅうじゃねえ。ここにもあそこにも球根を水にさ
Mama's a fucking side quest queen, is what she is, right? Mama's is such a fucking side quest queen that she's the one that goes along and just picks up all the random things that shine on a map. The sad part is, in this case, it really seemed to have been Jinchi that noticed and had the idea. Yeah.
さ
Yeah.
らすとうまいんだよな。毒抜きを失敗すると腹痛で苦しむ羽目になるけど。あ、李白様だ。帯の色が以前とは違う。ということは出世したのか？
おう、ジョーちゃん。
李白様。
妃の付き添いかなんかか？高級から出てくるなんて珍しい。
私が解雇されたこと知らないのか。李白様、六将官三姫の一人、パイリン姉ちゃんに惚れて女のために出世しようとする愛すべきバカなところがある男だ。パイリン姉ちゃんを呼ぶには平民の半年分の銀が必要になる。高くてそうそう呼べないもんな。六将官にはカムロ相手によく茶を飲みに来
Half the salary. Half the salary. God, yeah, damn, brother. Bro's getting drained. Yeah, half the yearly salary. Fuck, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know about that, brother. Top class courtesans. Sometimes I just have to pay a little bit extra for a drink, and I'm already just like, fuck. They're entertainers, so yeah.
てるらしいけど会うことはなかったし、天井の蜜を知った男は一目でも拝めればと通い詰めてるんだろう。頑張ってるんだな。
なんだ？
いえ、今は高級勤めからとある御人の部屋付きになりましたので。
部屋好き？誰だそんな物好きは。
ええ、物好きですよね。ところでお取り込み中では？
ちょっとな。この季節には珍しくもないボヤだよ。火元がわからない。
They said spend the night, so there are cheaper options where you just converse and stuff. They're also they're also probably very fucking expensive, seashell, right? Play chess, you
っ
know.
てことで借り出されてるんだ。
I wonder what the escalation is.
昨日の音はこれか。怪我人は？
倉庫番だけだ。命に別状はないが。っておい、あんまり近づくなよ。
わかりました。そんな話聞かされて首を突っ込むなと言われても。隣の小屋にまで届いたすす。建物の周りに散らばった破片。これじゃボヤというより爆発に近い。なるほど。火付けの疑いありと見てるわけか。下っ端役人ではなく李白様が出てくるのもうなずける。そこらの倉庫ならともかく、ここは帝のいる宮殿内だ。この国はおおむね平和であるが、全ての人間が現状に満足しているわけではないだろう。稀に異民族が襲ってくるし、飢饉や干ばつもなきにしもあらず、他国との和平もいつまで続くかわからない。異国の中には不満を持つ者もいるだろう。炭？いや、焦げた芋か。
Well, even then, you also have to take into consideration, like, if they were targeting certain elements, why are they targeting that, and like specifically to do with this? Like, let's say it's winter time, right? Hi, Mr. Stabby, how you doing? Let's say it's winter time, and I were to target your food supply, and I make it significantly harder for you to get food in. Why am I doing that? Is that strategic or what? Right? Like, it's taking into consideration what the main plans would be, and if you were an enemy target, how would you target this as well? Right?
もったいない。ということはここは食料庫。象牙細工？キセルみたいだな。
勝手にうろうろするな。
キセル？爆発、食料庫、キセル。
聞いてるのか？
聞こえてますよ。聞こうとしないだけで。
Ace
燃えた
Attorney
倉庫には
investigation.
こちらと同じものが置かれていたんですか？
ああ、奥から古いものを入れているらしい。
これもらっていいですか？
いいんじゃないか。
あとこれも土とノコギリ、あと釘も必要ですね。
何する気なんだよ。
ちょっとした実験です。これでいいか。
Now I'm kind of curious how she's gonna go ahead and approach this, right? And it's interesting that it's taken this turn so fucking quickly. With Maomao in general, this is one of the key elements that like comes up. She's able to go to investigate something and she just starts fucking cooking. And her cooking is fucking beautiful, man. Her ability to cook with the evidence that is being given is usually so fucking on point. It drives us through a fucking like, I like how this is staying on for like the rest of it, pleasure and pain. It drives us through a fucking wall with how precise she can be, even if it's like a slightly different result.
妙に手慣れてるな。
貧しい育ちなのでないものを作るのは得意です。
それ小麦粉だよな。
はい、倉庫にあったものです。
これでいいですか？
それとお願いした火種は？
こちらに。
ありがとうございます。
わけがわからん。
準備できました。危ないので離れていてください。
はい、では。
So because of the air, because of the mixture of everything in that component over time, I'm sure that that's seeping, making the environment. Someone goes in there and smokes, it acts like a fucking grenade. It's a flower bomb. Yeah, 100%.
リハク様、危ないですよ。
何が危ないんだ。ジョーちゃんが何しようと武漢の俺が危ないものか。
わかりました。危険なので重々気をつけてください。すぐに逃げてくださいね。
あ？逃げるって何がだよ。消してくれ。
She literally fucking told you. She's like, hey, this shit's kind of dangerous. This shit's kind of dangerous. And from the OP, like, you might want to fucking book it, right? And now he has woods and splinters in his stomach.
だから言ったのに。
それで何がどうなって爆発したって。
原因はこれです。
小麦粉？
はい、小麦粉やそばといった粉は燃えやすく、空中に舞うと火がつくことがあるんです。火種はこれかと。
キセル？
人目を盗んで一服するため中に入ると外気が流れ込んで粉が舞います。そこでキセルに火をつけると倉庫内に充満した小麦粉に着火して結果爆発が起こります。倉庫番の方に倉庫でのタバコはおやめくださいとお伝え願えますか？
And that's just an excellent point. Like, you know, you got to be careful with fire and with anything overall. Any one thing like this can definitely take your life. But aside from that, Maomao being able to recognize this and go through with it, it's huge. Maomao is so fucking smart and adorable in how she's able to piece this shit together. Fucking huge, man. Like, color me impressed. Legitimately. Just imagine being a commoner and extremely intelligent. Right? And like her demonstrating this to others individuals in here, in the court, in whatever, that are supposed to be like considered some of the best. I think they foreshadowed this in episode 1. Maomao's actually isekai. That's why she has all this knowledge. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't fucking doubt it. Like, seeing how smart Maomao is, right? And seeing how smart she is in her environment is what makes this all fucking key.
んなことよく知ってるな。
以前 6章間で間借りしていた部屋を吹っ飛ばしたことがありまして。
お前
あの時のババアは怖かった。
しかし粉が爆発とは不思議なもんだ。
世の中不思議なことはほとんどない。不思議というならそれは知らないだけだ。風邪をひかぬよう気をつけてください。ひいたら花町のローメンの薬がよく効きますよ。親父商売っ気がないからな。ちょっとくらい営業活動してあげないと。パイリン姉ちゃんに会いに行くついでにでも寄ってくれ。では仕事に戻ります。
That's adorable. That is so fucking great in the way that she's like slowly putting in there. Oh yeah, go visit my dad. He's really good at this, right? My dad was a manager at a factory that produced powders used in food. Shortly after he left, talking about taking his rules about no smoking with them, the plant had an explosion. Powder in the area plus cigarette smoking. Oh yeah, it all adds up. And because she's knowledgeable about the specific stuff, she assumed she'd ace the court lady exam. No problem. But and I guess here's the thing, right? It's just like, oh yeah, you put a psychologist in like a room full of physicists. They're not going to do that well, right? Same thing with the physicists. You put a physicist in a room full of psychologists that are supposed to go ahead and do diagnosing and stuff. They're probably not going to do that great as well, right? Because it's just a different field in the different areas. Even if you specialize and say that you hyper specialize in a certain area, and then you try to like go into just general whatever, you're like, no, I know the specifics of where this goes. Yes, you're stopping at a very base point. I don't think it's interesting.
あ、これ持ってきちゃったな。
Exactly.
綺麗にして新しい吸い口をつければ元に戻るか。売ればそれなりの金になりそうだ。というか倉庫版が持つには立派すぎる。もしかしたら大切なものかな。磨いて返してやるか。
くそ俺だったくそ。
Hey yo, hey yo, what does that mean? What does that mean? Every fucking episode, man. I love this show. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
次回
Raw fish. I love the next title. Just raw fish. Oh, fuck, brother. Oh, fuck. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting so fucking close. We're 10 episodes away from the finale. Great fucking episode. Awesome episode about like sexual education and instances like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you at least took a lesson in sexual education away from our components as well. Fucking great, ladies and gentlemen. And like for me personally, that's what makes me fucking happy. It makes me thrive. Whenever I see shows like this that like help us out, like genuinely establish such a good feel and such a good environment and allow you to think for yourself, right? And allow you to grow from it. Good shit. Good shit. Sex with Ed and Maomao. Yeah, it's great. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please remember to practice some self-care. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys next time.